Hello and welcome to the lecture series on principles of microeconomics. In the previous class, I have talked about price elasticity of demand, and in this class, I'll be talking about income elasticity of demand. So let us look at what income elasticity of demand boils down to. So let us assume that the income of the consumer is denoted by Y. So this is looking at the income. Let us assume that the quantity of a commodity is denoted by Q. So when we employ our formula to look at income elasticity, we say that the responsiveness of change in income to change in quantity is denoted by income elasticity of demand. So therefore income elasticity is given by the formula percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity due to percentage change in income or the consumer's income. So this is further simplified or can be simplified in this fashion. So percentage change means change in quantity divided by original quantity into 100. So this is denoting percentage change. This entire thing is change in income divided by original income into 100. So now if we employ regular mathematics, this gets cancelled out and this becomes inverse. So this will in turn look like delta Q, which is change in quantity divided by the original quantity into this Y will go up, this will become inverse, therefore this is Y divided by delta Y. So just simply rearranging this, I'll take delta Y here. So this will look like delta Q divided by delta Y multiplied by Y divided by Q. So this is change in quantity divided by change in income into the original income divided by the original quantity. So this is my formula for income elasticity of demand. So this is how you can write it in mathematical form. Just in words, you write it in this case, that is percentage change. This is delta denoting change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in income. So this is how you look at the formula for income elasticity of demand. So I hope this is pretty much clear. Now, given the fact that income elasticity of demand is a measure of responsiveness of change in income towards change in the quantity demanded of a commodity, let us look at the different types of income elasticities of demand. So I'll just erase this, I'll keep the formula so that we can probably go ahead with the thing. So I'll just keep this formula because this formula is important for us. Let us now look at the ratio being, that means let us look at one condition which is talking about unit elasticity. Unit elasticity means the value of elasticity to be equal to 1. Now this is possible only and only if the ratio which I was talking about, that is income elasticity given by this ratio percentage change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in income, if this entire ratio becomes 1, that means income elasticity is 1. So this is possible only if the proportionate change in this is equal to proportionate change in this. Yeah, so this is how you can look at the income elasticity to be equal to 1. And graphically, if at all you want to look at that, let us assume that on x-axis I am talking about the quantity demanded of that particular commodity. On y-axis I am looking at the income. So unit elasticity will look like this. That means as the income, here the income is increasing, the quantity demanded increases in the same proportion, and therefore the graph would look like this for unit income elasticity of demand. So this is one way of looking at income elasticity of demand when it is 1. So I hope this point is pretty much clear. Let us now look at the next case for income elasticity. And what can be the next case? Income elasticity to be equal to 0. So we have seen first case, which is unit income elasticity or unit elasticity. The second is talking about 0 elasticity. So the value is 0. Now this is possible if the entire ratio becomes 0. So this is how we are going to look at it. That particularly means there is no change in quantity demanded with respect to any change in underlying income. That means whatever income changes, this remains 0. That is, change in quantity demanded remains 0. That means 0 divided by anything, or any change for that matter, any arbitrary change in income, this is going to give me 0 itself. So therefore this needs to be 0. So let us look at it from the graphical sense. Let us assume that on x-axis I am looking at quantity demanded, on y-axis I am looking at obviously income, which is denoted by capital Y. So I want quantity demanded to be 0 so that the entire ratio becomes 0, whatever the underlying change in income. This means the curve will look like this. This means quantity demanded remains constant irrespective of any changes in income. So this is, for example, say y1, this is y2, y3, y4. With change in income, the underlying quantity demanded remains same. So this portion, which is numerator in my formula for income elasticity of demand, remains 0, and anything, 0 divided by anything will give you 0 itself, and as a result of that, the graph of income elasticity to be equal to 0 looks like this. So I hope in case of unit elasticity it was like this, both the changes were equal. In case of zero elasticity, the curve looks like, or the graph looks like this, that is, it is parallel to the y-axis. So I hope the second type is pretty much clear. Let us now look at the third, which is very important type, which is called as negative income elasticity. This is very popular in economic literature. So negative income elasticity, that means now what is going to happen as my income increases, negative, I'll just write it here so that it will be easy for everyone to keep a track. So this is the third case, which means negative elasticity. Yeah, negative elasticity. This particularly means as my income increases, the quantity demanded, the corresponding quantity demanded of any particular commodity tends to fall down. So let us now look at income elasticity from a graphical perspective. And when I look at it from a graphical perspective, again, similarly, on the x-axis I am looking at quantity demanded, on the y-axis I am looking at income. Now, as my income increases, the quantity demanded is going to fall. So now the curve will look like this. So initially when my income was this much, I was demanding say Q1 when my income was Y1. But as my income increases from 0 Y1, it increases to 0 or O, whatever you call it, O Y2. The corresponding quantity demanded falls from OQ1 to OQ2. Furthermore, any increase in my income towards this quantity OY3, the corresponding quantity demanded of that particular commodity is falling down to OQ3. I hope you can see graphically that this distance OQ1 is greater as compared to this distance as compared to this distance. So therefore, in case of negative income elasticity, what is happening is as my income goes on increasing, the corresponding change in quantity demanded is in the negative side, meaning thereby it is falling. As my quantity as my income increases, the quantity demanded of that particular commodity falls, and hence the curve looks like this. So I hope this is pretty much clear. This was another important type of income elasticity of demand to be negative. So I hope this is pretty much clear. There are two more cases in it is high and low, which will fall in between, obviously, high and low, meaning thereby, if at all, this is quantity demanded, this is my income. High in the sense that any small change in income will induce large change in the, so this is how the high case looks like. Obviously, I hope you remember that this was unit, so it is in between these two. The high case will look like this, the low case will obviously, so this is my 0 thing. I hope you can recollect, this was 0, the low will be somewhere here. As the income increases, the corresponding change in quantity demanded is relatively less, and then there's one case wherein we have negative income elasticity, which I just talked about. So this is how you can look at the concept of income elasticity of demand, and how graphically you can see the changes in quantity demanded with respect to any corresponding change in income per se. So I hope the idea is pretty much clear. If at all you are interested, you can write about high, and there's fifth type which is called as low income elasticity of demand. So this is how you can look at an important concept in microeconomic analysis, or introductory part in microeconomic analysis as far as elasticity is concerned. Income elasticity of demand. The first three are very important. Please make sure that you keep in mind the high as well as low case, but these three are very important. I'll be using negative income elasticity in some other lectures to take you towards, or to give you a sense of what are Giffen goods and all of that, inferior goods and all. So please make sure that you remember the case for negative income elasticity. So I hope the concept of income elasticity is pretty much clear. Please stay tuned. Thank you.